longest time I had my sound bar turned on, and I was sitting here talking to myself, and and then as soon as Alan tells me, "Keg out your tongue," I looked. Could you still hear the? You can still hear the game. Of course, the audio, right? I'm assuming. So now I have it turned on. I'm sorry about that, guys. I had the I had my sound bar turned on. I didn't have the audio for the mic plug or flipped over because the headset. So my fault. Let me see. Let me go back and reread the comments again so you guys know that I acknowledged it. Alan, placing your bets. Strange parking lots out here, around here. And Nancy, thank you so much for the 50. And as I said before, there were some high winds yesterday, Nancy, in New York. And Alan always spills his drink. Better this time. Tough cookie to land. Pig Venus. Good to see you, brother. And Mike, all funny. Is it really? Jesus. Give me 1 second. All right, how about now? Always something. And this entire time I've been talking, I'm making this video for a friend of mine. She's in flight school out in North Vegas. She's at North Vegas Airport, VGT, Victor Golf Tango. And she had sent me a message saying that the winds were out of control today. And she's been, you know, telling me that the winds are always jacked up over here for some reason. And I wanted to see if you can land. I'll stop complaining about being grounded. So yeah, so Valentina, welcome. I was just talking about you. Before I had the mic turned off and I was talking, saying, you know, what was going on, and the winds were whipping. So yeah, this is why you don't fly in 50 knot crosswinds or 50 knot gusting winds. She flies fine up here, but once you come in for a landing, I'll stop complaining about being grounded. That's hilarious. All right, let me see if I can go back to the airport. I'm in an acrobatic Cessna right now, so let's see if we can do some cartwheels real quick. Save this so I can watch it. Yeah, it's gonna post right to my wall. Let's see. And we're in a spin! Oh no! Right rudder. Stop the spin. Elevator neutral. Yeah. Master of spins. Now, acrobatic Cessnas are designed to spin. A 172, non-acrobatic, not so much. Oh no, we're doing it again. We're spinning. All right, let me see where the runway. All right, we're over here. All right, let's see. We're gonna do one more landing here. We're gonna stop stalling. I'm gonna try to get my best landing yet. 3,000. About 3,000 is elevation, so, or pattern altitude, so 3,000, let's see, yeah, 3,000, 3,005 maybe. Go back to my map on ForeFlight. Yeah, 2,205, so 3,205 is elevation. We're way higher than that, so. Valentina, I don't know if you saw the crosswind, but when I was taking off, the windsock was directly across the runway. So there was a crosswind today. And that sucker was gusting. All right, let me see if I can find the runway that we were using. Oh, there it is. Let me turn this way. Descend a little bit. All right, we're lined up with our pattern. Still got to descend because we're high. Pull back on the throttle a little bit. Trim down a little bit because she's wanting to go up. Alright, we can stay here, it's no big deal. So Valentina, I can actually see the Pappies when I was a little bit higher up. When I'm lower, I can't see them. But let me see if I can nail this one. See what the picture looks like from the screen, from the window of the aircraft. All right, so we passed the beam the numbers. Carb heat is on. We're at 80. Stop descending. We're gonna drop our flap, one flap down. Slowly descend, and we're going to start turning our base. Trying to maintain 80 the whole way. All right, we're on our base leg. Second notch of flaps coming down. Careful you don't lose your airspeed. Turn in final. At this point, we're just holding our altitude. And I overshot that one. This map sucks. Yeah, that was my fault. Go full flaps. Gonna hold our altitude a second. This joystick, man. Start turning final. On the next one, I think I'm going to do a short final. And we're just going to turn our base earlier. I'm going to hug the airport a little bit tighter. See if I miss any notification. Jennifer Points, thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate it. Not as clear in the past days, really. Yeah, I've been running some hardware. I gotta see if that messed with the settings again. This is like so annoying. As you can see, like, I'm semi going in a straight line, but my nose is pointing to the right. That's the wind. keeps pushing you back. So since on the last one we drifted to the left a little bit, I'm gonna keep turning to my right, and I'm gonna keep this plane like pointed to the wind the whole time until I get closer to the ground. Now this is left rudder, right rudder, will adjust accordingly. It doesn't help that my rudders are so damn sensitive, so I gotta just apply a little bit of rudder pressure. So right now I have 4 white, so that means we are too high. We're gonna drop down a little bit. There's 1 red. And now the wind is just knocking us around. Still keeping the nose pointed into the wind. Still way too high. And power to idle. Turn the wing to the left. Left rudder. Hold it. Perfect. Look at that. See, that was the little wing dip that I was talking about, Valentino. You dip your wing to the right, a little bit of left rudder, and she'll line up with the runway down the line. And it kind of pushed us to the left a little bit once I raised the wing. So, flaps up. That one was a little bit better. And it's crazy because the wind is pushing like on your wing to try to pick up off the ground. So the wind is kind of picking up your elevator in the back. And that's when you get that push the nose down, because it's trying to lift up your back wing. So it's not me. So you want to try to maintain. We're going to try to do something different. We're going to apply elevator in the down position and see if that adjusts, and it should adjust it because it's going to deflect the wind coming from the elevator to the elevator that lifts it up. So we're going to do that first. Because right now I'm holding the elevator to try to lift up off the ground. The wind is kind of swooping in under it and picking it up, and that's when you get that plane nose wants to go down on the runway. So as promised, we're going to keep it close to the airport. Climb up to our 3,000. $3,200. And we're going to go ahead and start pulling our flaps down. 1 notch. Now we're at 3,200. We'll start turning. Pull the power back so we don't overspeed. There's our runway. Second notch of flaps. Start turning final. Final notch of flaps. See if we could do this again. There's that crosswind. We're gonna keep the nose pointed towards the wind where it's coming from. You can see though. I guess we'll do it from this angle. This is kind of cheating though, but look at that crosswind. That's ridiculous. Look at this. Plane's going straight, but the plane is sideways. All right. Power coming back to idle. Coast down to the runway. Tilt the wing a little bit. Correct with the rudder and whoa, whoa, whoa. Yikes. Ooh. Ooh. See? This view sucks though. I hate this view. All right. Flaps are coming up. This time we're going to pull down on our elevator just like that. We're going to turn our wing to the right side here. They're actually going to deflect. See here, the wind's coming from this side. All right, full power. Yikes. That's even worse. Oh my goodness. I know you all laughing. It's all good. All right. Valentina, let's go flying 50 knot winds. I think I know what's going on here. Let me give myself more throttle. Let me see if I missed any comments. Jennifer, thank you so much for the 100 stars. I really appreciate it. Love how you explain everything. Thank you so much. I've been hearing that a lot, Jennifer. So, I mean, these planes are like kind of like my baby right now. So, but thank you so much for the 100 stars. I really appreciate it. One of these days I'm gonna have everything set up the right way, and my controls are a little too sensitive, I think. I've been meaning to adjust that, but I've been so preoccupied with this panel and the USBs not connecting, and so one day I'm gonna have the controls feeling stiff like a Cessna. This is just too wobbly. Here's our runway, flying our crosswind. We were upwind a minute ago, now we're crosswind, now we're downwind. 3,205 is pattern elevation, so it's 1,000 feet above sea level. Actually 1,000 feet, correction, about airport elevation. So the airport is 2,205 above sea level, so yeah, we got about 1,000 more feet to that, and that's your pattern altitude. You stay right here. So when the winds change, now the wind's coming from my left wing towards the aircraft, so she flies kind of straight, to be honest. But she is drifting to the right a little bit, but she's flying a lot better because you're flying technically almost into the wind. As before, when you were on upwind from the runway, the plane was kind of, you had to point the nose to the right, and the plane was drifting to the left. Climbed up a little bit. Let's go ahead and pull our power back. Turn on our carb heat. Now, carb heat just, as I explained in my other stream, kind of it does exactly what it says. It's pulling the heat from the engine and running it straight to the carburetor. And then when that does that, it actually lowers the performance on the RPMs a little bit. However, what you're doing is when you pull the throttle back, like say you pull it all the way back to idle, like it is right now, at higher elevations, you have the chance of the carburetor icing up, even when it's super cold out. So when you turn carb heat on, where are my RPMs at? I don't even have it on this plane. But anyway, if you, oh, they're over here. So when you're below the green arc here, that's when you should be applying carb heat, only because when your engine's not running at full, you have the chance of your carburetor icing up, especially in the wintertime or at higher elevations. So you want to make sure your carb heat is on and you're using it for mostly for landing. So carb heat's on, keep it around 2000, only because my airspeed is down to 60. And we'll go ahead and put 1 notch of flaps in. And again, we're way out there, so we're gonna start turning now. We're gonna hold our altitude for a little bit because we're still too far out. Just try not to overshoot the runway this time. Still holding at 3,200, so I must get in the car to go home. We'll be back online in about a half hour. Okay, Al, no problem. If you missed this one, it's no big deal. I think I'm coming back on around 9 p.m. tonight. So, but thanks for checking in. Appreciate it, and drive safely. All right, let's go ahead and start turning. We'll go right into full flaps. We're at 75 on the airspeed. Now you want to be at 70 on final, roughly for this aircraft. So that's where we're at right now. Much better on the lineup here. Go ahead and get rid of our map real quick. 65, we'll just add a little bit of air or a little bit of throttle. Again, it's starting to pull to the left, so we're gonna compensate and adjust for our wind. This time we're gonna keep ourselves in the cockpit the entire time, so let's see. Still 4 white on the poppies, still too high, so we're gonna pitch down a tiny bit. Oh, that is the wind whipping around. There's 1 red. Two red. I'm gonna try to keep it up. We lost 1 red. Wind keeps pushing me. All right, 70 on the airspeed all the way down. That's beautiful right there. Gonna power to idle. Gonna lower our right wing a little bit, apply left rudder. Stay there. Oh, hey, I still got down, you know, so. Oh man, that was great. All right, should we do another one? Flaps are coming up. Let me get the flaps up first. Our bead's coming off. I don't know why there's a fuel truck on the runway. Yeah, we say any landing's a good landing. Get on the ground. Until you lose your landing gear. Then it's not so good. Looking for 75 on the climb out. On our upwind leg. They call this an upwind when you're going away from your takeoff runway. And your next leg will be, and this is your legs on a pattern circuit they call it. This will be your crosswind leg. I don't know why my button keeps bouncing back, but alright. Just use the mouse. Fill our crosswind. We're gonna turn a little bit. I didn't even see what runway we took off from. Let's see what runway it is. Hold on one second. Alright, let's see, this one is the cross one. It's runway 12, so 12 and 30. So good tip when you're flying your pattern. 30's on the back end, which is right here. So obviously your compass, you're aiming for 30, so you can keep yourself lined up with your pattern. Turn a little bit to the right, and our 12 is where it's going in the direction of the runway we just took off from. So you're looking for 12 on the gauge here and 30 on the top. So you want to keep it there. Try to keep it as best as you can. And this will always make sure you fly the pattern perfectly if you don't have visual reference points. So then you're gonna, when you turn 90 degrees, you're gonna look for this heading here. So between south and 210. So we'll go ahead and pull back on the power a tiny bit. Carb beat's coming on. One notch of flaps. Now we're flying, this was the downwind, now we're gonna be flying the crosswind towards base. Technically not a crosswind, a base leg. Looking for that south 21 right there. 210. And then another 90-degree turn will put you in between east and 120. It's the runway. We're gonna turn. And our runway is 12, so 120 will do it for us. And we'll stop right there. And that's how you perfectly fly the pattern. Now we're gonna go ahead and add our last notch of flaps. We're gonna keep it at 70. So from the distance, it looks like we're all 3 red and 1 white. So that means we're too low. You want 2 right on the right side of the lights and 2 red on the right side and 2 white on the left side, and that will be your perfect glide slope to your touchdown point. If you ever notice, the lights normally are lined up where the first set of markers are. That's done on purpose, of course. So right now with 2 red, 2 white, plane is bouncing all over the place because of the wind. Point the nose slightly into the wind. Still 70 on the airspeed, which is good. Still 2 red, 2 white. This is not me controlling it, by the way, that's the wind. Now we're 1 red, 1 white, 2 red, there we go. Runway's made. Power coming back all the way to idle. I'll float down to the runway. We won't do the right wing technique, but if you notice, it's drifting. A little bit of left rudder, and ooh, there we go. I think that was, ooh. I think that was the best one so far. Okay, flaps coming up, RP to cold, full power. All right, so now that we saw what the wind looks like, we're gonna try to do this without the wind. So we're gonna clear skies, no wind, no nothing. Again, 3 zeros on our back end, so we want to navigate towards 3-0 on the tail of the aircraft on the indicator here. 120 on the front. That's the heading we're flying from the runway. Looking for 75 on the climb. Right there. Go ahead and start turning our crosswind. Again, 15 degrees, so 030. Get you right. Perfect crosswind. All right, we'll start turning another 15 degrees, so 300 on the heading. Let's pull back a little bit on the throttle. There's the runway we just took off from, right here. Still need to climb about 200 more feet, but it's all right if we do 3,000, it's okay. So worried about flying that I'm not looking at any comments on even around Twitch. Let's see. Or YouTube. Okay, good. I didn't miss any. All right. Still flying 300. Here's our runway. We're beam the numbers, which means we're parallel. Well, yeah, with the numbers 33, and then car beat's coming on, power's coming back. We're at 80, so we're gonna go 1 notch of flaps. Careful with the airspeed. Start descending a tiny bit. We'll start our quarter turn, 210 on the heading we're looking for. 15 degrees. And remember, we're 200 feet already below our pattern altitude, so we're just going to try to hold it as best as we can. 210. There's our runway. This is a short final, so we're okay. Second notch of flaps. Pull the power back. Start turning to 120. We're way high, but it's okay. We'll just do idle all the way down. See if I could do a side slip real quick. 1 second. And oh, that failed. Come on. Look at that. Perfect. Nice little recovery. That's it. All she wrote. I'm gonna work on adjusting these settings. Hopefully by later, I'll be back around maybe 9 o'clock tonight, Eastern Standard Time. And I can adjust the sensitivity, try to find out what other people are using, because the rudders are super sensitive, especially at high power settings, so. Oh, we'll just cut across, no big deal. Oh, look, we're on a runway. Alright, we'll just cut it right there, no big deal. Right, that's it. Nancy, thank you again for the like. Appreciate you checking in, and I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream there. I'll be back later at around 9 o'clock, maybe 8:30, 9. So I'm just gonna do a little bit more configurations here, see if we can get this set up right. I'm gonna play back the stream, see what's happening with the mic, see if it sounds horrible. I'm gonna adjust some settings real quick, and I'll be back later. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you so much for the stars. I'll be back again.